Hello everyone, so today we're talking about the care of instruments and particularly care for string instruments, what to do and what not to do. So the safest way to get started if you're just playing an instrument is to make sure you have the case on the ground and open it on the ground instead of in your lap where it can fall out and fall to the floor. And here's how you open the case. So some of you may have this flap that you lift up, and then some of you may have a latch here. This one is zippers. So you zip it all the way around carefully to open it up. And then this is on the ground, right? You open up the case. Make sure it's not upside down. So how do you know if it's upside down? So the side that's attached to the handle is the bottom of it. So make sure that it's not upside down when you're opening it. The handle is on the bottom of the case. Then once you zip it open, you open it up. Then you'll see the instrument here. There's a cloth over it. So this cloth is used to wipe down the instrument. After you play, there might be some rosin dust on it. So you want to make sure to wipe off any rosin dust. If you leave any of that rosin dust on there, then what can happen is the wood will corrode and turn black. So here's the rosin. There are different types of rosin, but this cloth is very important that you leave it over the case and use this also to wipe down your instrument, remove any varnish so it doesn't corrode remove any rosin so it doesn't corrode the varnish. Then there might be some Velcro strap that you take out. And then you always handle the instrument by the neck. So you can see that behind of the instrument is unfinished. So you want to handle the instrument by the neck if you have a violin or a viola. And you don't want to touch the varnish or put fingerprints too much on this part of the body. So as much as possible you're going to handle it by the neck of the instrument. Okay, so we're talking about care of instruments. The next care of instrument tip is never touch the bow hair or the wooden part of the instrument with your hands. So again, handle it by the neck. You don't want to do too much touching here. The oil from your hand and the varnish will get damaged. And then never touch the bow hair. So here is that if you're playing a bowed instrument, you always handle it by the stick of the instrument, the wood part. This is hair, horsehair, so never touch this part. If you do touch this part of the bow, it'll turn black from the oils in your hand. So you can tell if you've been touching the bow hair if your bow hair turns black. So you don't want to touch the bow hair. It puts oil on it and it makes it slippery. It will not grip the strings. Next tip is protect your instrument from heat, cold, and quick temperature changes. So don't leave it in the trunk of your car. Don't leave it by the window where the sun is shining. Don't get it wet in the rain. And don't put it in any cold environment. It can crack the wood. Next tip is to place a cloth over your violin or viola before closing your case. So before you put it away, you're going to loosen the bow hair. You don't want it tight. So you're going to loosen this adjusting screw here, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So you want to loosen that so that this bow hair is loose. How much do you tighten it? You tighten it so that there's still a curve in it, and then about your pinky space, width. So this bow should still be curved and it should never be straight. It's too tight. So before you put it away, loosen it lefty loosey. Make sure that bow hair is loose. Then you put it back into the case like this, and then you turn this little knob there so it stays in place. Then before you put it away, you make sure to take off any shoulder rests in there. So if you're playing, you'd have your shoulder rest on. You don't want to put the instrument away with the shoulder rest because it's going to smash down and smash your instrument. So make sure to remove that shoulder rest. You just slide it off this way. And then you put your instrument back into the case. Carefully. You want to handle it by the neck. And you put the Velcro over it this way. Then where does the shoulder rest go? There should be enough room to fit it in here. And then make sure you put the cloth over your violin or viola before you close the case. So then you want to make sure it's latched and zippered before you pick it up. So make sure it's closed all the way and zippered before you pick it up. Otherwise, if you pick it up this way, the instrument will fall right onto the ground. So keep your instrument away from those who don't know how to properly care for it, like young children, dogs, cats, pets, or friends that don't know how to take care of it. Do not attempt to repair your instrument yourself. Tell your teacher or qualified music dealer if something needs to be fixed. Now, if you're handling the bow, sometimes a hair will come out. Just like the hair on your head may come out, sometimes the hair on the bow may become loose. Maybe it caught on something. So if a hair ever comes loose on your bow, don't just pull it this way, it'll run. So you need to carefully cut that little hair that's loose. You cut it and leave about a 1/2 inch. You can cut it with the scissors, but don't pull the whole thing because the whole thing may run. So if a hair comes loose, tell your teacher if you don't know what to do. And never try to fix the instrument yourself. When you're not playing your instrument, the safest place to put it, if you have to get up and do something, is to put it in its case on the ground. Or if you don't have a nice solid case like that, you can put it maybe on its side. Make sure you have a soft cloth or like this. Never leave your instrument on the chair standing up where someone could knock it over and it could fall over and break. So everyone, is this a safe way to store your instrument? No. Is this a safe way to store your instrument? Yes, it's better. After every use, make sure you wipe down your instrument, wipe off any fingerprints with a soft cloth. You can use an old t-shirt, but not a cloth that's going to be scratchy. So after each use, wipe off any dust, wipe off any fingerprints off your instrument. Wipe off any dust, it keeps it nice and shiny and clean and new, and it prevents it from getting kind of rust as well. So to review, taking care of your string instrument. String instruments can last forever, but they're easily damaged. To protect your instrument, be sure to follow these guidelines. Never touch the bow hair or the wooden part of the instrument with your hands. Protect your instrument from extreme heat, cold, and quick temperature changes. Wipe off any rosin or fingerprints off your instrument with a soft cloth after every use. Place a cloth over your violin or viola before closing your case. Be sure to latch the case. Loosen the bow hair after every use. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Tighten it the same amount every time before playing. Keep your instrument away from those who do not know how to properly care for it. Do not attempt to repair your instrument. Tell your teacher or qualified music dealer if something needs to be fixed. So take care of your instrument and you'll have a nice instrument to play for a long time.